We are live. All right. Wait a few minutes. Happy Sunday. Yes, if you go on my page, it will say live. If you go on my page, it will say live. You guys have any questions once you get on here, throw them in the inbox. You guys have any questions once you get on here? Or comments, not inbox. Throw them in the box. So I have some questions. We'll get to those in a few. I'll talk about my recovery first. So I had surgery last Wednesday, and yes, Steve, I'll get to that in a second. So my recovery is, I don't know, it's a lot better now than what it was before surgery. It's just the rehab could take 4 to 6 to 8 to 12 weeks. Who knows? I'm dealing with VA trying to get physical therapy, so I'm kind of doing physical therapy on my own, as a lot of you guys know. And people are helping me out with like getting exercises and telling me what to do. But yes, it's going, and I'm back teaching, and I have my people helping me out, so it's been awesome. So tournament yesterday, Steve, everybody, awesome. Everybody did good. Especially Austin, he got double gold, and he had like 7 or 8 matches, I think 7. Gi and no gi, and that's what it's awesome. Collegiate wrestler that knew not a lot of jiu-jitsu, and that's my job, is to make the wrestlers like I'm doing and did with Tyler, and just like working off their backs, making them uncomfortable, and it showed yesterday. Very, very hard fought. Just everyone that competed did a hell of a job, as we've been putting in work, as you know, Steve, and all the people, all of our students rolling with everybody. It's awesome to see the training partners and just seeing how much better everybody's getting. It's incredible, and so everybody did really, really, really good. We had Josh got silver, which he could have. We don't know if he could have got gold. He got his arm in a Kimura, like nasty, or not Kimura, key lock, nasty key lock with the legs, and he came back. He let it pop, I guess, or he said he felt it pop twice, but then he was able to take the guys back, and then he just dismantled them. So the thing that I loved about seeing Josh, it was his first competition, and You know, he's stubborn when I teach him. Um, you know, so it's just it's so cool to see what he's doing. Well, anyway, his first match ever was against a tough wrestler, and you know it's always hard, especially a white belt, to go against a tough wrestler. You know, it definitely is. I've been that guy. I remember competing in the gi at white belt. God, many moons ago. And I just remember I got out wrestled and just dismantled. Going against a real good wrestler. I don't know. I know he probably wasn't a good wrestler compared to the Midwest guys, because this was on the East Coast. But yeah, so it's tough to be going against that, especially someone that's a newer jiu-jitsu person. But anyway, Josh, I think he was down like 7-0 in the first probably minute and a half. It was, or I think it was even 8. It could have, whatever. It was tough. It was just takedown, good takedown, to pass, to back control, and I'm like, oh shit, that's okay. You know, first tournament, you can't be upset by that as much as you don't know how that adrenaline's gonna hit you. Anyway, he fought it off, ended up taking dude's back, and then he was just listening, knee on belly, and he mounted. He just wore the guy down so much. It was awesome to see. So, but he did mess his arm up, and the thing about the tournament yesterday I didn't like was you had to wait like 20-30 minutes before you competed again. So I wasn't the happiest with that. It's just too long. So anyway, the guy that Josh, his arm got pretty messed up, and he went for gold, and he tried to like pull guard. He couldn't even do anything with his own arm. So it was, I told him it doesn't matter if you go out there, and don't go out there, because if it's an injury, there's no point, not for a small tournament. And he was more concerned about, do I have to take a week off of lifting and MMA tomorrow? That's what he told me. I was like, man, focus on your first place match if you're gonna do that. So yeah, very good job. Lena got bronze again. It was just a weird, they had like sudden death. So the first match, Lena held the girl in the guard the whole time, went for sweep submissions, had her in a triangle for a long time, and then the time went off, and then it was kind of like, okay, they're going a minute overtime. I was like, what the hell, why is she going another minute? But it was cool, like whatever, it's their rules. And it was like, I think the other girl pulled guard, and like, I don't know, it looked like their feet got caught up. The other girl got on top, and it was counted as a sweep, so she lost because it was the first point scored. And then she won her next match against a tough girl. So again, medals are just there for a reward. It just rewards you for your goal. We don't do it for medals, but it's very, very awesome. So awesome job to her once again, and now they're hungrier for more, and that's what I love about it. And then we had Dom compete. He's got to get in there. He's just got to train more. He asked me if he could do it, and I was like, yeah, go ahead and do it. If you want to do it, have fun with it. And he went against a guy that was like 15 pounds heavier, good wrestler. It was tough. It was tough. He had 2 matches. But you know what? He wanted to experience it, and he knows that he's got to train harder. And he's just, he's got to train harder. It's as simple as that, and just get on the mats more. You just don't let anyone be discouraged. There's no reason to be discouraged. So, but yeah, it should make you hungry. Austin, like I said, just awesome job with double golds. Sergio did a fantastic job. He won gold in pretty dominant fashion. I mean, he's putting in the work. He gets the role. He's coming in the mornings. He's got some tough training partners in the morning. Professor Alex is there in the morning too. So he's doing nights with me. He's doing mornings with Alex. He's training with Raul, like from Uflacker. He's made so much progress, and he dominated yesterday. Ankle lock, he loves the ankle locks, and then he got the 9th highest in the whole tournament of points scored on someone, so that's cool. Let's see. And then Mini Me, of course, I've been waiting to compete forever. Competed. She did good. She went against, first we went against a 25-year-old. She was about 131 pounds. And a few things that could have been done. I mean, we never thought that she would roll or do jiu-jitsu ever again, like 3 years ago. And, it took me to talk to her mom about competing. She wanted to compete, so I was trying to convince the mom, that, it's probably have more of a chance getting hurt rolling than you do in a tournament. Just tap. Don't be stupid like me in some situations, But with her at the same time, I feel like she's one of the most technical people I have in the gym. She's been with me 5 years. She's like 119 pounds, 20 pounds soaking wet. She's a little thing, but she was with me in the old UFC days too. Which, I mean, of course, everybody that was with me from the UFC days that are still training consistently their technique is great. I mean, and that's not just because they're with me. I mean, I gotta say it is too. But no, it's the mat time. It's because they're there all the time. It's mat time. They're dedicated. But yes, so she only lost by a guard pass, and her and I talk about strategy all the time, and she did the strategy that I said to stick to, and and if both of the matches have kind of had her thinking. But there's reasons why that her and I had her go off a specific rule set. I was just more of her getting out there and seeing what she could do, how she's gonna react to adversity, how she's gonna react to somebody like really grabbing you, and because she's always been really young, so no one really we didn't want to kill her, but now the past, I don't know, year and a half, she's been like training a lot and just like rolling like more and more and more and more. So if you're watching this live real quick, guys, go ahead, copy this link and share it for people, please, on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok. I just need a few hundred more watch hours and we hit our goal. And I appreciate everything with that. And again, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat, because we got about 7 or 8 I picked. A few I left out because I think I answered in my other ones. But if you're watching, go copy the link, throw it all over. Instagram, tag people, stuff like that. Yes. So she did really good that match. She missed a belly down arm bar, which that's something we don't. Belly down ankle lock. It's something we drill, but not in the positioning we drilled. Um, Again, the girl was at least probably a good 15 pounds heavier, and she was 12 years older. But it was awesome. She did really really good. Very happy with it. Everybody was happy with it. Very impressive. Next match, she went against very good, a very active competitor from LCCT. Um, they got good competitors there. But she was 17 as well, and it was just she just threw up triangle, because I told Marissa ankle lock, ankle lock, ankle lock, look for that ankle constantly. So it was just, who pulls guard first, and um, you know, you're going first competition versus somebody probably has a good 10, 15. You don't, I mean, I don't know. Um, it's you gotta go through this to experience what it is at tournaments. It's the most realistic thing we're gonna get to fighting on the streets, just because of fight or flight, self-defense. Um, so yeah, but that match, it was 0-0, and then they did the overtime, and then she lost decision, which yeah, the girl had her in triangle for a long time here, but she kept getting out, but she kept getting caught in it. Few times I thought we were gonna have the ankle, and again, it's a game of strategy, even at every single belt level. And first competition at a blue belt, awesome. And she's got a few more coming up, as my squad's got a few more coming up. And since I'm not competing, all of my energy gets to go into my students, and I was so stoked for this week with the nationals, with Joanna getting third in gi, and then the competition yesterday, so I have a lot of adrenaline with that, because I love competing. And Freedom is just guarding the house, being a dog, just going window to window. But yeah, so that was the tournament, Steve. Just very very cool, very impressed by everybody. I see the mistakes because I have to, that's my job, but I also know all the good that I saw. So, all right, so I'll get to some of these questions real quick. Sponsors, Top Mount Apparel, just one more. This is one of the new shirts. I really like this shirt. I like that it's like military green. Check them out, Top Mount. Eat some gyros with Constantine at Athens, gyros in Richmond Park. Now, all right, I'm gonna ask, there's a few questions. First one is, what's something you wish someone told you before starting jiu-jitsu? I didn't look at most, I only looked at the questions to write them down. I don't remember. Again, just like everybody, not hide your ego, just hold your ego. That's something I wish somebody had told me, but at the same time, going in, you're gonna get your ego checked anyway. But I think people have to be warned, like, hey, you could be a very, very good wrestler, you could be a very, very good Muay Thai fighter, you could be a very, very good MMA fighter, but guess what? You're gonna get your ass beat in jiu-jitsu against a good jiu-jitsu person. And you have to deal with that, because that's just gonna make you better. And some people just can't get past that fact, and they stop doing it. They go what they're comfortable with, and so, and it's like, don't be a bully, and that's another thing. Don't do. But other than that, like, you could tell anybody everything, so that's why I have a video on what to do before starting jiu-jitsu. It's on my YouTube, check it out. But yeah, so yeah, that's about it. Just the whole ego thing. Everything else is gonna come and go. Maybe what to wear and stuff like that. I like this one. Good ways to lift for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and how often? or just lifting for MMA, lifting in freedom. Chill out. So when I was 17, 18, I started lifting, and I was obsessed with like, by God, the muscular development, Flex magazine. Every single month I was on the subscription list because we didn't have all this cool internet stuff back in the day. And I would just religiously read. How do you get bigger? How do you get bigger? Or what to lift? You know, a lot of people spend their lives how to get smaller. Me, you know, I'm old and my metabolism's still fast, and but it is easier for me to put on muscle now than it was when I was younger, which is crazy. However, I put in a huge foundation of doing all of the lifts, meaning I did everything, like the beach body, I did looks, I did legs, the calves, I did biceps, triceps, like deltoids. So I wasn't looking at the power movements as much as I was doing everything. Like I do power movements now for MMA and Jiu-jitsu for the most part. Meaning always gonna be the big lifts. So I always am gonna do deadlifts, pull-ups, weighted pull-ups, heavy rows, shoulder press. I like to do supersets to burn them out with laterals, upright rows I like to put in there, followed by shrugs. Like, and the supersets are very important, especially for jiu-jitsu, because you're constantly using your muscles. Okay, so if I am going heavy, that's going to be in my off season, because if I want to get stronger without getting too much bigger, I'll lift heavy for that explosive strength. But if you lift like that all the time, you're not going to be ready for jiu-jitsu when you're going 6-minute rounds, 7-minute rounds, 10-minute rounds, when you can't use all that muscle. So you need all of those muscle fibers getting used to supersets. You got to get used to that lactic acid to burn. And so when I was lifting younger, I was all about, learning by myself. I never had a trainer. I seen muscle really quick just because I was so skinny, and muscle does come very quick. It's just maintaining it and getting past the, oh wow, I'm not getting bigger every week type thing. That hurts, strokes people's ego, and I think that stops them from lifting too. But anyway, so that my favorite ways to lift, it's about, I'll go, if I'm competing, if I'm in camp, I probably will go 3 times a week in the beginning of camp. I'll do, say I do a back day, and I try to put the body parts all together, because legs and shoulders I usually do, because I don't spend an hour and a half in the gym. You can't do that. You will overtrain for MMA and jiu-jitsu and all of that. You can't do that. I've done that. You can't lift like a bodybuilder and do all that stuff. So, that's one of my favorite ways is a lot of supersets when I get closer. But you won't see me doing biceps. You won't see me doing triceps. You get that work in with the lifts, with, depending if it's on push day or pull day, you're using your biceps, your triceps. So I focus on the shoulder, the quads, hamstrings. I do chest still, especially I like benching off the ground, floor presses when it comes closer to jiu-jitsu tournaments. I'll stop about a week and a half before the tournament if I'm cutting, because I have to do cardio, and lifting kind of sucks, and I don't want to destroy my body anymore, and I don't want to get any bigger. And I know I'm going to have to lose some muscle. I'm not an idiot. When you lose 10 to 12 pounds cutting weight, you're going to lose some muscle. That's just what's going to happen. So yeah, so it's very cool to do that. With the lifting, leg presses. I know some of my students know, I tell them like do like 50 to 100 reps of leg press to begin. Just that's so good for jiu-jitsu and just legs overall, just because of lactic acid buildup. And getting your body used to it. So yeah, it all depends. Right now, since the only thing I could do is lift to make me not go nuts, and give me, even though I don't want to be all upper body and back to all lower body, I mean, it'll probably be I don't know, a few more weeks, three weeks till I could train lower body. So I'm not worried about that too much. But I'm starting to get stronger because I am lifting. Now I'm spending longer in the gym to lift because I want to put some muscle on. I want to get stronger too. And I need to be at a gym long because I'm not training for anything right now other than rehabbing this knee and doing my damnedest to get back rolling and teaching and competing, obviously, but one step at a time. So now I'm doing biceps, I'm doing triceps, and seeing how I feel, if I want to go up in weight and be a featherweight instead of light feather, or only just cut down to light feather for like huge tournament. I don't know. It's cutting kind of sucks, and I know it wasn't good for my tear in my knee to keep cutting, and so that's something I'm just gonna think of if I decide to eat a lot of horse meat and get huge. We'll see. But no, I'm never gonna be huge, but we'll see if I could get to a good weight where I don't feel like I'm gonna be too small for feather, but I don't know about that. But again, it all matters with lower body because your upper body will get bigger, but if you're not doing your lower body, you're not using your testosterone at the fullest, and you're gonna build your overall body by doing legs. So I'm very excited to do legs again. So yeah, that's how I like to lift. You could message me if to be more specific. I could always do a whole YouTube of how I actually do it, but that's how I kind of get at it. Here's a cool one. How does someone tell their professor they are wrong and their ego is blinding them? I think everyone has to be approachable. I mean, there has to be approachable. You have to be respectful. I've had people come up to me and talk to me if they wanted to say stuff to me, and that's perfectly fine. We're humans. I don't, just because we have a school or black belts or UFC champions, that doesn't make anybody different, there's not a ton of UFC champions, obviously, but there's a ton of black belts and school owners. So yeah, everybody has to be approachable. And then I would talk to them man to man, or man to woman, or woman to woman, woman to man, whatever it is. And kind of tell them how you feel about something if it's an issue. And if you don't go anywhere, well, then you just, you gotta leave. You gotta leave the school because you can't have a toxic environment, and especially if it's coming from the instructor or one of the instructors, But yeah, you always gotta be able to bring it up and not shy away from it. But yeah, if they don't see it and if their ego blinds them, then, well, you gotta go. You gots to go. That's the only way I could think about that. If you guys are watching, copy this link, throw it on Facebook, inbox some people if you have time, Instagram, share it to your stories, whatever. Let's get me to these watch hours so I could finally be done with going crazy with this YouTube. I mean, I'm gonna go crazier with my YouTube, but just the whole like process of it is tough to get the watch hours. So good stretches for jiu-jitsu. I love the butterfly stretch. That's one of my favorite stretches. You know, you put your knees on the ground. I like, you guys know that, and push the knees down at your own level, what you could do. I was very good at that. It's good because I would love the rubber guard. I was flexible. I wasn't strong, so I had to use my body, so I had to stretch. Hamstring stretches. If you guys have like those machines that you could roll out that have you do the splits and helps you do that, that's a great exercise to do. You know, arm stretches where you come in here. I like doing like kind of key locking yourself type thing. You know, you got to get everything stretched out. I like doing ankle stretches, like getting the tendons stretched as much as I go without it getting hurt. Yeah, so, you know, back stretches, just the basic stretches, nothing too wild, nothing too crazy. But yeah, so I got a few more I'm gonna answer. I'm just gonna let Freedom out real quick before she has a conniption. So I'll be right back. Come on, Free. Alrighty. Alright, so, my most prized possession. It's a tough one. I mean, that's stupid. I mean, not stupid. If I say jiu-jitsu black belt, obviously that's up there. I mean, the Marine Corps is always, you know, the Eagle Globe and Anchor is always the biggest thing, but I don't know if that's considered a prized possession here. I would say my Integra is one of my favorite or most prized possession. That thing has been with me since I was 20 years old, right? 19, something like that. I remember driving in it when 9/11 happened. Just so that led to that. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, I had that car 9/11. You know, and it was a nice car at the time. Those Integras were kind of cool at the time. Obviously now they're even cooler in my opinion because you don't see a lot of them. You don't see nice ones. I put a lot of money into that thing, and the reason why it's prized to me is because a lot of that money was Iraq money. It was 2 years in Iraq. So that's why my car looks nice and is pretty fast. Put me in a lot of debt, so badass car. No, so that's one of my favorites, just because, not just because of all the money spent, but just because of how long it's been with me and what it's actually been with me through. So yeah, once again, if you guys are watching, copy this link, share it if you haven't. That's just keep this video moving. Sickness Ferro. That's easy, just go copy the link, paste it, copy, paste, whatever, if you can. And all that fun stuff. All right, next question. My definition of success. Success would be being, I would say, generally happy or content with your life and doing what you love. Success doesn't mean you're rich. Success means you got close to your goals, or you're you've hit your goals. Or, I mean, you should always have goals that you still want to hit. Um, but if you could do something you love or even enjoy a little bit, I feel like that's success. And working hard and pushing yourself, that's success. It shouldn't, what you put your mind to, and if you accomplish it, that's success. You want to win a tournament, that's success. So that's I'm gonna keep that easy at that one. Did you ever think you'd open up an academy? I don't know if I answered this before. Never really. I mean, not when I first started. There was no way. You don't even think of anything like that. I don't remember even thinking about it. I remember when I started teaching a little bit at Team Toro. I had a few students. I got my friend Jason and Craig. They still both. I know Craig still does jiu-jitsu. He's in Michigan. One of my favorite people. He comes out here and still comes to the U. Because that's where he went after I got him into jiu-jitsu, because he was at Team Toro with me, and he started loving jiu-jitsu a lot, and he was good at Muay Thai too. I think as we get older, we don't want to get hit as much. But no, so yeah. When I started teaching, I started like, oh, this is cool. I was a 4-stripe purple belt. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I knew what I was doing, but it's not even close to get the details. That's why you gotta do your research on your instructors. Details matter. Little details matter. If you forget those details aren't gonna, someone's always gonna capitalize on those details. But I'm happy to still make them love the sport. So I'm very, very happy with that. So that's cool. But yeah, those are the questions I got. You guys asked some good questions here. Again, as far as the rehab is going, it's going. Let's see. But yeah, it's been a cool weekend and week, just because of the competitors, my students. They're putting in a lot of hard work. That's all I ask for. I wish I could put in hard work right now, other than hard work and training. And this goes to everything else, that you can't feel sorry for yourself the whole time. It could always be worse. I saw a guy at a tournament yesterday. I had like a full leg cast on, probably had full leg ACL surgery. You have to accept what comes your way if you make decisions, and if you do what you do, you have to own up to them. It's tough. It's tough because you love something so much, you kind of need something so much, and you can't do it. Yeah, kind of sucks a little bit, but nothing lasts forever. If something's temporary, you take it and you work hard. Again, on a goal. Right now, my goal is just to be instructing. I want to be showing the moves again. I want to be able to do the moves. One thing too I wanted to touch on, that kind of have everyone know what's going on with the VA. Okay, so when I got this injury, it was on a Wednesday. I drove far to go to my doctor, one of my doctors that I go to. He's like they're like chiropractors, um, just overall health, blood work, whatever. If you're sick, you go, just general practitioner, everything in there. So I couldn't, my leg was bent, so it's a bucket tear. And I told him to pop it back in because I got to compete Saturday. And he said, go to the ER. So I went to the ER. But, so what the process goes now with the VA, you have to get authorization from your doctor or like a community care before you could go anywhere else. Now, the issue with that is you don't get a call back for a decent time. So I'd call my doctor and they'd be like, well, you gotta wait 72 hours before a nurse could even get a hold of you. So you had to wait 3 days for that. Obviously, if you have to go to the ER, you can't wait 3 days for that. And I talked to the VA ER and they said just go to the closest ER because we're far away, all that stuff. So, my ER bills should be covered. I mean, I gotta just send them the bills. The problem is with the surgery, and yeah, I had a live video before my surgery. So the surgery happened, like I said, last Wednesday, and Tuesday, I got a call from the surgeon's office saying, hey, the VA called, they want to push your surgery back again because they didn't authorize you yet. And that's when the surgeon was like, F you, not saying that, but he's like, he's got to get surgery. American Hip Institute, very, very happy with them. And the doctor, especially because they did whatever the hell they had to do to get me in. They wanted to give me surgery like through just after the weekend. Didn't happen because of the VA. So we waited 2 extra days. I talked to the VA on Monday, blah, blah, blah. They still didn't authorize it. So I had surgery. A lot of permanent damage could have been done. Your leg can't stay like this locked. I mean, that's not even the extreme pain that I was in for a week. But that's not okay for your legs to be locked like that. Obviously, it doesn't take a rocket science. A lot of damage is going to be done, and a lot of damage has been done. So yeah, so that's what I'm dealing with, where they're not covering the surgery. I had to pay for MRIs, whatever, you got to get better. Money's not, I mean, health is more important than money. But at the same time, being a veteran, the process is just garbage. I mean, it's awesome. Like I said, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, about 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I'm trying to think of when it went into effect that we were actually allowed to go get seen outside of the VA for care, just because if you go to the VA, you kind of would understand it. And again, the people that work there are good people. There's a lot of fantastic people in the VA. The VA is there to help us. I mean, I did have to fight 11 years to get 100%, which is still another ridiculous thing because it was just like a system, and you're fighting a system. It's like it's a business corporation, but now the issue is I was supposed to start physical therapy a week ago, and nothing. I can't. Physical therapists, they're probably 150. I got quoted to $300 a visit. And, so what I'm doing, I'm on YouTube. I'm looking up what to do for my post-op stuff. And I went on so many different websites, and I'm getting the exercises from each. I know what I need to do with it. And I have a physical therapist actually going to write down some exercises for me because he said don't come in and pay $100 when I could just show you what to do. But yes, it's my knee a little better. I got my incisions there. Like I have this, I'm doing this movements. I can't bend it and kneel down and all that stuff, but whatever, it's the road to improvement here. But I'm gonna keep fighting the VA. I appreciate you guys, everyone that sent me anything in the GoFundMe. I didn't want to do one of those, but thanks for my students that set it up for me, especially Marissa. You know, but yeah, whatever. I appreciate everything with it. As far as competitions, we have a bunch of competitions coming up. I'm going to be going to IBJJF Chicago to be coaching some people, which, I mean, I live here. But then I'm flying to Orlando to be in some sun. I don't know when, probably in like 3-4 weeks. And then I got another tournament to coach on another Saturday. So my schedule's booked, and that's just what it's going to be and how it has to be. I like coaching. Like yesterday, I had a ton of adrenaline. It was awesome. Since I can't do it, I'll give it to my students to do it. I want them to succeed. But yes, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Help out with the VA. Let's fix the VA. Yeah, let's just share this video. I'll upload it. Thanks for listening. Let's just get this some more likes and comment below. When I repost it, just watch it again, or you don't have to watch it again because I wouldn't, but just hit play and let it play out and not listen to myself. But thanks for listening.